What's up, everybody? Welcome to Walking 90. I am still your host because Yogi has given up on soccer until the final. Uh, as always, I'm Ebony, still drunk for my playoff win, too, because my Sounders also did a damn thing. So now with this stupid fucking MLS format, we got to go do another win so that we can go make to the next whatever. To To the side of me over here, we've got Kyle. Kyle, how are you?
Ski. I'm good.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm okay. This last week was the first week without Ford Madison soccer, and it was weird. Didn't know what to do with my Saturday night. I was kind of just sitting there. It was nice, but it was also like, oh, I gotta do this for like 6 more months. Shit. Good thing the Bucks are back, but they are pissing me off. So
Basketball, wow. You gonna put all your hope on the Bucks?
yeah. I've been doing it for 30 something years, so why not another one? Like, I've been doing it all my life.
I guess. And as a special guest on the pod today, Alex.
Hey.
You might also know him as League One Updater. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always fun to have you on. So first, for the people that don't know you, give us a little bit about your soccer background. I see the DC on the chest. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but, It is what it is. We got our stars a long time ago and then checked out, but
yeah. That means you're in the Richmond, DC area.
Yep. I live in Richmond, Richmond Kickers fan, also DC United. I run League One Updater website and used to podcast. Now I only go on other people's podcasts. And we try to keep up with all the League One happenings.
Honestly, just showing up on other people's podcasts is kind of fun because you just show up, you do what you need to, and then you leave. You don't have to worry about making sure the episode recorded. You don't have to worry about uploading it. You don't. It's kind of nice.
I love it. Yes, I absolutely love it.
So let's break
down.
Long-time
listener of the show as well.
Oh, you are? Oh, it's 3 years young. I know, but we still trying to make it happen.
It's been a good 3 years, but yes. Also, we have still filled our Richmond quota. So even though Yogi is not here, who will probably hijack the show eventually via comment, we still got a Richmond quota.
It would not be a Walking 90 episode if he did not hijack a show. So we're waiting for you, Yogi. Just let us know when you're ready.
Summon the Yogi.
So let's get into it. Let's get into some league news first. The league has announced their award finalists. We can go through the list. So first up is goalkeeper. And not surprisingly on that list is Delgado, Pack, and Lewis. What are we thinking about those?
Seem pretty straightforward. I have no argument with it, so.
Who do you see taking it home?
Pack.
Yeah, I was gonna go Pack. Yeah. I
feel like this voting was done before the playoffs, but if you include the playoffs, then it absolutely is Pack.
Yeah.
It's there's so much talent on this list this year. Like any other year, like Lalo Delgado would walk away with it, and up against Pack and the saves leader who's carrying his team into the finals, and then Sean Lewis, who played on one of the best defenses in the league, even though they didn't make the playoffs. Golden Glove winner. Like, it's crazy.
So for defender of the year, Rogers, Skelton, and I'm going to say his name wrong. Suwahi?
I don't know how to say it.
Suwahi. Yeah. Okay, see, there we go. This one's kind of hard, honestly. Everyone's going to lean Rogers. Everyone's going to lean Rogers, but I'm like, after our show, what was it, a couple weeks ago? I'm liking Skelton on this one.
I'm somewhat surprised, and it also kind of ties into the the all league teams. And it was like the 3 finalists were the 3 defenders that were all the all league teams, but I was kind of shocked with it just because I felt like were they really going to go with, someone that had the like statistics, or are they going to go with the one that had like the best overall impact? So, but I still think Arthur Rodgers is going to win it because the league doesn't really care about actual defending.
Yeah, it's crazy how Skelton was expendable from NCFC, and then goes over to One Knox on a transfer and is nominated.
Yeah,
kind of shows how stacked NCFC was, I guess. But yeah, that's good for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of NCFC, Coach of the Year, you got Bradford, Zayed, and Casiato. I don't think I said that right, but who knows?
Oh, yeah, you did. No surprises here as well. Honestly, I don't know who's going to win it. I think I had picked Zayed, but it could be any of these three. This was also not surprising.
Yeah, I can see the argument for all of them. Bradford taking a literally bottom team into a final, not bad. Zayed just fucking ran away and took that third spot. So they're all good ones. I'm not angry at any of those.
Yeah, and Bradford, I don't know. Like, do you feel like he should have anything taken away now that we like kind of know the motive for NCFC's spending? I mean, he did take a last place team to first place, but he got backed up by the front office and got that crazy investments into all that talent he had to work with.
Yeah, I think it makes it easier when you have like a bigger budget and you can go get the vets that just won to come and play for you so that you can now go win.
Yeah, I mean, not to take anything.
He still had to like put them on the field and make sure they worked.
Yeah.
And I think he did a really good job of that for a lot of the season. There were some games where he got it wrong, and I think he knows that. But you can't knock a 2 seed. That's still good work at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think he and Zayed also they did a very good job of meshing like the returning core with all this like fresh new talent.
Yeah, Noko kind of shocked me because, like, not gonna lie, Yogi was on the Noko train from the jump, but I was like, I don't see it yet. Like, you got one all-star and 18 children, and they turned that team around. So
yeah, I think for me it was just more the expectation. Like, I expected North Carolina to be a playoff team. Omaha, I expected to be on the fringe. Did not see them going a whole half of the season unbeaten, but expected it to be. But with Noko, it's kind of like, I don't know, because yes, they brought back Rodgers, which was huge, and the defense was still relatively solid. But it was like, outside of Irvin Parra, who's going to score the goals? And then when Irvin Parra was going to be out, I was like, okay, now what the hell are they going to do? And just so happens they had a guy that would just go on and score 20 goals or something. I was like, okay.
How does he unlock that? Like,
I mean,
you remember,
you can't give that to Zayed, but you could definitely be like, yeah, let's keep him on the field to keep doing it. So,
do you remember Trevor Amon got benched the first two, the third and fourth game of the season?
Yeah,
and then came out in that fourth game in the second half and scored 2 goals against Omaha, and then like never let up from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no bad options again. Like, all these made complete sense. No arguments for me. It was just one of those where I was like, I picked Zayed just because relative expectation, but that's not to say the other two don't deserve it.
I picked Bradford in the first half of the season, and then I picked him at the very beginning of the season, but I think I'm going to go with Casiato for the winner of this one, based on like just what he's done since July with that team and that undefeated streak and turning that team around.
I mean, yeah, they really poured it on at that second half. I think June/July was the turning point for a lot of people's seasons to determine like where they were going to go, and he did all the right things. And like, what was it, 16 games unbeaten?
Yeah,
something like that.
You can't like. There's only one way to motivate those guys like that, and he did a really good job of that. So that's a tough one. It's gonna be a good little pick. Make the right choice, league. We'll see.
No pressure.
Young player of the year, Cease Sorry. Corey and Onan. I know I butchered all of those names.
No, you actually didn't. You got him.
What? Okay. I'm on top, man. I'm winning.
I don't know who the hell's gonna win this one. This one, I really don't know.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised not to see Cervania on there just because he's still so stupid young. And he had a decent season, but that could be the bias in me. But still a very good list.
What's the qualification? 22 or 23?
That's also because I was like, I was surprised Diouf wasn't there, but I don't know if Diouf was just too old for it,
or Bruno Rendon.
Yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah, I don't know what the threshold is.
And then Cease is on for the second year in a row.
He won it last year.
Yeah. So I don't know. The biggest one though, player of the year, where we have Rogers, Amon, and Anderson.
Notice how they changed it from MVP to player of the year.
Yeah.
They changed it now. Because it was MVP all those other years, and this year's the first time where they've gone with player of the year.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean though. Like, it's still MVP, I guess. Like,
I don't know.
I think that they're setting it up to give it to not the Golden Boot winner. I mean, in a just world, I would give it to Rogers. I think he's by far the MVP of the league.
I think that's why they changed it, because last year I think they realized, everyone was expecting it to be the guy that not only scored the goals but was also assisting in Jonathan Bolaños, and then they gave it to Trezeguet, and everyone's like, mathing.
Does it ever happen without Bolaños this year?
Right, like Richmond is a much worse team without Bolaños. Like, no disrespect to Emmy, but Richmond would have been much worse without Bolaños, and we saw that now. So now I think this year they're going to be like, nope, you know what? Player of the year. So someone that does both, and we're going to go with Arthur Rogers.
I mean, yeah, the argument for all three is there. But yeah, I feel like they're just setting it up to go just right to Rogers. Make it easy for everybody, I guess. If they're going to differentiate player versus MVP.
Yeah.
That sounds dumb.
And not to take anything away from breaking the goals record or having like all those goals and assists. But yeah. If you don't have a Rogers setting it all up.
When you have the guy that has 11 assists and like 25 more chances than the second place person.
Yeah.
Like if it was any other year and like Anderson would have had this wrapped up, but
oh yeah,
this was miles ahead. Like Rogers fully deserves it. They're still going to probably go like, come on, here you go, and I'm gonna be like, no, don't. Everyone is unanimous. Okay, just give it to Rogers, but they're not going to do that. If they were smart, they would. The league also announced first and second all league teams. What did we think of them?
Which I'll go over them in case anyone hasn't seen it. So for the first team, Pack was the goalie. Suahi, Skelton, Rogers were the defenders. Mikey Maldonado, Rafa Menzigan, JP Skiers, who apparently is leaving Omaha, and Neil Vigneault were the midfielders. And then the attack was Trevor Amon, Anderson, and Diouf. Nothing surprising here, I guess. Again, I was slightly surprised with the defense, but not like this is a wrong kind of thing. But it was kind of this all makes sense. Mike Maldonado was a little bit shocking. Not to say like he didn't have a good year.
I like it, but it surprised me.
Yeah, because even within NCFC, I don't know if he makes he's good. He's very good, and he's done a lot for our team. Right. But I feel like you could have literally went I think there was maybe one or two other midfields where you could have picked from.
Yeah. And then the second team, goalkeeper Sean Lewis, Bruno Rendon, Jake Kroll, and Akoff were the defenders. Angelo Kelly Rosales, Joel Johnson, Omar Cease, and Miquel Akale were the midfielders. And then Steven Dos Santos, Noe Meza, and Leo Castro were the forwards. That one's a little bit. The second team was a lot more eyebrow raising.
Yeah, I feel like you missed out on Luis Perez from NCFC. I feel like you missed out on, even though they didn't have a great season. God, who was the defender from Richmond?
Ani.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm surprised Kroll was the Madison defender that got it. I figured it would have been either Stephen Payne or Mitch Osmond.
Payne would have been a good shout, but
Yeah.
Osmond too. I think Osmond would have been a good choice.
Yeah. Joel Johnson, I guess, had a good year, which
he did.
Yeah, I mean, not like, again, not a bad option, just not the midfielders I was thinking. Akale, I could see. Akale made sense.
It was, you could tell that they really went just like all in on that first team, just because there was so many good ones to pick, and then they were just kind of like, well, now we're tired, so let's just copy some homework and call it a day.
Yeah,
and I think
I am surprised Sterling didn't get in.
I was a little like, I think like between like Mikey Maldonado and Angelo Kelly Rosales, do you think if Isidro Martinez stayed healthy, he would probably be there?
Yeah. I do think he was that important to Madison, and part of why Madison's form also dropped at points was because he was hurt. Him and Timmy Mel, like those two being hurt, did have an impact, but I think if Cello was healthy, it would have made a difference. I also think another player I'm surprised they make it was Tate Robertson over in Lexington. Yeah. Just because he had like 8 assists, he had a couple goals. He was also pretty solid. He was like pretty solid defensively as well. So I am slightly surprised that Tate Robinson wasn't named in any of the team of the all league teams.
Yeah, I'd probably give an honorable mention to Luis Hill at Omaha.
Who Yogi thinks was signed with drug money.
But it is weird not seeing Emi Terzaghi or Keziah Sterling on the list this year.
Yeah,
I agree that they were left off, but it's just a a weird thing to see.
Yeah, Emi, I'm not surprised. Sterling, I was slightly surprised, but I'm not. Again, I don't think there's any big.
He was hot for a little bit. He was only hot for like 3 or 4 games, like all season. So
I agree with it being left off. It's just a weird thing to see. Like it's like kind of a, especially with Terzaghi, kind of a changing of the guard here.
Yeah.
So
in other league news, NCFC, for their last game of League One, is partnering with Liga MX Team Monterrey. So they're going to move up to championship with this historic partnership. What are we thought? What are we thinking?
It's big. That's big. I mean, to partner with, and it's like one of the top teams in Liga MX. It's not like just some team that people haven't heard of. Like, no, this is a well-known team that has had recent success. Like, it is pretty good to see. Like, and it's kind of cool to see. Like, I don't know what the full details of the partnership fully are going to be, but just having that exposure. And I mean, we've seen NCFC both recently and in the past draw big teams over to carry as well. So I'm sure, there's going to be a friendly, and that's going to be huge for them as well.
So just from preliminary findings, so there, friendlies, academy academy opportunities, and back and forth partnerships with loans and stuff. So players playing for each team are all on the table for this matchup for these two teams, which nothing but great, because the NCFC Academy is already big, and to get that pipeline into Mexico to draw some top talent. We just had 2 players get called up to the Mexican national team for the Pan Am Games, I believe they are. It's U16s or something like that. U16, something like that.
No, the U17 World Cup. Well, one of them was called up to the U17 World Cup.
Got called up by Mexico. So two players, so that's already they're already getting looks everywhere. So it's a fun one. I can't wait to see what it produces with some championship money. Hopefully, some really cool things come out of it. Matt Glazer signs a multi-year deal with Forward Madison. How you feeling over there, Kyle?
I mean, I feel like he deserved it. He got to the playoffs just like what his expectation and goals were. I think I can see how people that have closely followed Madison could have been a little skeptical, been like, okay, but he had 2 years where the team didn't have the best form at the end of the year. But I also think if you were to go to a casual fan and say, oh yeah, this coach that took us to the playoffs for the first time since 2019, we're not bringing him back, it would definitely be like, what the hell is going on? It would have made Madison look like a Watford in terms of just like a revolving door of coaches. So I think Matt deserved to stay. I think it's going to be exciting because if he can bring back a lot of this year's team, Madison can do better than they did the previous year. So I'm excited. I think I'm okay. I'm good with it. I'm happy for him. And I think this is a good sign for Madison to show both stability and still have the chance to kind of build on what they were able to do this year.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I know we had talked about it, giving him a chance to like really build a roster out with this club, with these guys, and he gets that chance now. So should be I shouldn't say fun, should be interesting to see what he does in the next couple of years. Hopefully it's leading to playoffs and,
if anything, he knows how to beat Richmond.
Yeah,
he knows how to beat Richmond.
That one hurt, didn't it? A little bit, Alex. I'm sorry. I can hear the pain. I'm so sorry.
This is where Yogi's going to jump in and hijack the show now.
And the most surprising of news from the league, Jermaine Jones coaching Fuego.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Filling in the quota of U.S. men's national team players.
We lost one and gained one, I guess.
Yep. I mean, does Vasquez count? He was. I don't know, but
I know.
Yeah. Harks and Jones are on. They're on the same level.
Yeah. It is weird. It's not like, and it's not because like I can't picture Jermaine Jones as a coach. Like he has coached, he has had a coaching background lately, and it's not as though he's coming in on like completely fresh. It's just shocking that Jermaine Jones is coming to Fuego. Like he's coming down to League One, and then coaching
they're better
Fuego.
teams. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not that it's not the coaching thing. He can. I've seen him do some pretty decent things at the coaching position, head coach position. It's the fact that he's going to Fuego. There are some very nice opportunities out there for some really good squads, and Fuego.
So even good for them. I mean,
like even other League One like spots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there are some teams with openings, and you couldn't wait like 2 more weeks.
But the most important thing now is that we know that Fuego is going to continue next year.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. I guess you're gonna get all the national team people that are like, I want to support my national team guys.
Fuego. If they're hiring a celebrity coach, they're going to be a team next year.
At least we know there's intent there.
Yes, we will have that.
No.
Is he bringing the national team tactics? Like, because he is the coach of the U19, U17, one of those two, or is he bringing like the New Amsterdam tactics?
I feel like there was really no clear plan for tactics with New Amsterdam because New Amsterdam was a shit show of a situation.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the national team.
But doesn't that kind of lean into what Fuego is about?
Okay, but it's one thing. Fuego's issue is they just seem to have a disconnect on what they want to do and what they're actually doing. New Amsterdam was having their owner's son just showing up playing goalie.
Fuego could have went far. It's a chaos league, and they could have gone far. And
Fuego just needs to get it together. Like Fuego has the path for Fuego is you just need to get your shit together, and you can make some progress. And this might actually be that first step. Like, okay, bring in a guy with a pedigree, someone that's going to get people to come, someone that is qualified. It's not like they're just bringing some bozo off the street. Like you're bringing in a qualified person that has a coaching background that is a bigger name.
Bozo off the street, you could have just said Eric Winaldo's name.
Well, I'm not doing that because I feel like that man searches his name on all
He
sorts of media.
does.
I don't
Oh,
need
he
him.
absolutely does.
After
Like he's
Alexi
got
Wallace
an
got
AI.
a reply to my tweet unprompted, I ain't taking chances.
He's got some AI generated bot searching his name. They're gonna be in the comments in a moment, just ready to go ham.
They're gonna say the
Like,
FBI are outside your house.
Yeah, whatever. It's good. I mean, they will be fun at least. They will look good, like on the field, like style wise.
I thought they would be fun this past year, but
I
saved it all. They saved it all for that 5-4 win against Richmond.
I thought they'd be fun
they
last
will
year.
have some of the best
nope.
uniforms. They will have the best uniforms.
Nah.
That's what I got for you. Fuego can do so. I will be a neutral of League One next year, and I can't wait because it's gonna be amazing. Because I'm hoping that Fuego, the same way Yogi was Noko to the moon, I'm Fuego to the moon next year.
Okay. Look at Fuego's.
I'll wait before. I'm gonna wait until like the week before the season this time to say who I'm picking to the moon because I don't need coaches tweeting at me again saying I was an idiot. All right.
That was fun. I appreciated that.
I don't need that.
That sweater vest
Instagram
comments.
I
really
tweets.
appreciated that.
That cashmere sweater came
tweets.
off last week. I'm so excited. We're gonna talk about that cashmere sweater in a moment.
We'll just talk about Noko
Yeah.
later on.
We dug up old tweets from multiple people, like
Oh man,
all of us.
Everyone snitch tagging in the Instagram comments. I'm like, what are you doing?
that was the part that pissed me off. It's not that they found it and comment. It's like people are snitch tagging. It's like, don't do that.
Like, quit being a hater. Like, go somewhere.
So
yeah, that
Fuego
was fun.
Fuego has like they have one person signed for next year, from what I've found.
Perfect. We saw how that worked for Noko. Yes.
Kudus Lawal signed a 3-year contract this year. I found he signed to 2025, but he's the only one that's signed, from what I understand.
Not the player I would expect to give the contract to 2025.
I mean, he did pretty well when he got there. But I guess the question is like, who else is going to stay now that they have a good coach? Alexis Cerritos, Jose Correa Garcia.
Maybe resurrect Bijev and see if he can actually do something anymore. Probably not, but I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Before this happened, I said it was just going to be Garcia was the only one coming back, and Cerritos was
for
going to
Fuego?
walk. Yeah, but now it's all up in the air.
Yeah. Who knows?
Fuego to the moon.
We'll see what Jermaine Jones is cooking.
I'm a Jermaine Jones truther. Jermaine to the moon. All right. Let's talk playoff recaps. We're going to start with the first game that happened that evening. Charlotte went into Omaha and beat Omaha 0-0, but won on penalties. What was it, 5-4?
5-4.
Yep, 5-4 in penalties. Let's talk about it because Omaha dominated that game. We were watching it at our tailgate, and it looked very one-sided for a lot of that game. The parts I can remember, I was trying to keep my title in beer pong, but.
Omaha looked like a Star Wars stormtrooper.
Why does that
raining
reference
shots?
So much? Yes, I hate that reference was actually really good.
I'm just saying.
Austin Pack stood on his head with 8 great saves. Omaha took 33 shots Charlotte didn't have a shot on target until the 71st minute. What was that game?
Everything
Austin
Omaha
Peck.
did. Yeah, it was Austin Peck, and Omaha did literally everything they needed to besides the key part of putting the ball in the net. Everything else Omaha did good. Did what you needed to. You got your passes, you're defending well, you're shutting down chances, you're creating chances. You even got shots off and could not score. The one thing that you need to do.
And we talked about this last week with the On the Rocks guys. Like, they truly did not let Charlotte's midfield do anything.
No.
They got overran. And yet somehow you couldn't put one of those shots in the back of the net. One. Like, I know Pack is good, but just one. You literally have been scoring 2-0, 3-0, 4-1, 4-0, or 4-2 leading up to this game. And you were at home and you couldn't put one in the back of the net.
9 out of 10 times, Omaha wins that game. See, if this was MLS, Omaha would have been fine. They would have been like, okay, whatever. It's fine. And gone in the next 2 games and thrash. But you know what? That's single elimination for you.
I hate the new MLS format. We'll talk about that again. It's so fucking stupid.
I also hate it.
It's the worst. Like, so after that, and you go into PKs, and it's not like they were the best PKs. It's just you missed one. And that was your end. That was the end of it for you.
And it was Dos Santos that missed it.
Yeah.
That's like that part blows my mind. Wide. Yeah, that blows my mind. Like best player on the field, best striker on the field. And yeah. Oh, I feel so bad for him.
I was literally in the beer line, and they had the NCFC game on one screen and the Omaha Charlotte game on the other screen. And by the time it was halftime, there was just a crowd around the Omaha game because we're just like, is this really going to happen? Are we going to host if we win? Like, I don't know, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it was. And it was one of those where it was like after the 90, it kind of did feel like Charlotte was in the fuck it. We are taking us to pens. We do not need to win this game. We got us in Pack. We are taking us to pens. We're not bothering. We're not taking any chances. And it was like as that match went on, the less and less Charlotte was going for the win, and just like we just needed to hold off as long as we could. And I feel like Omaha was running out of gas by the end of it. And that was, I think, another part of it as well. I think Omaha went out guns blazing for so long that they just ran out of steam near the end.
It was very much a bend, don't break for Charlotte, and they did it. Like, there's really nothing you can say about that. Like, they were outplayed, but they're in the final. So where does Omaha go from here?
I don't even know. Like,
because not like they don't have the scores.
We found out right before the show that JP Sears is walking. Sounds like.
And how do you replace him?
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Kinda to an like they'll do it by committee. Like you're not going to be able to do it with one singular person. It'll have to be by committee. But I don't know where you go from here, because can you really expect to go 16 matches unbeaten again? Because this was a team that at one point was struggling, like sitting 7th and 8th. And then because they just kept winning games and like went on this ridiculous run, it got them all the way and like they barely clinched the Shield. So it is kind of one of those where you can't bank on doing that again next year. If the assumption of other teams get better, if the assumption is other, like now you're adding in, I mean, you'll get rid of one of the teams that was good with North Carolina, but you're adding in Santa Barbara, you're adding in, well, maybe Santa Barbara, you're adding in Spokane. We don't know who is going to come down. Like there's that uncertainty as well. So I think the biggest thing could be that you just hope that you have a squad that can once again compete at the top end. And you still have Nuhu, so at least that's one huge question mark you don't have to worry about. Like you have a good keeper still
Is
there.
Is he signed for multiple years?
Yeah.
2025.
Oh shit.
So unless Omaha gets a transfer, he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
He's the only one signed right now.
Yeah, because I think he signed his contract like in the summer or something. It was like a mid-season like announcement that he got the extension.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For Omaha, I feel like you just try and keep as many of the pieces as you can and hope that you're able to replicate more of the style of play in the second half of the season. You might not get the same results, but at least trying to compete at the top end. But yeah, I don't know what you do without Skiers though, because that's going to be a huge hole to fill.
Is that going to be the Jonathan Bolaños moment for Union Omaha? I mean, you mentioned like doing what you did the second half of the season, and then hoping to replicate it the next year and hope the other teams don't replicate it. But look at Richmond and from last year to this year, and how the teams came out with just exponentially more talent than probably Richmond expected.
Yeah, everyone spent a little more and Richmond didn't. And they were hoping to keep that same type of, like, I don't want to say play, but they were hoping that it was still going to be good enough. And they were shown that it's not good enough anymore.
Now, is Omaha willing to spend that money next year? Possibly. And it seems like they're a bit more open to it.
I think because this league is actually getting a lot more competitive, they probably will spend the cash. Yeah. Like, this was a really fun year, not just because I was like, I actually got to participate. It was just a fun year. Like there were so many games that decided so many things that we had the playoffs being decided on the last game of the season. So,
yeah, I think you got to look at I think the biggest thing is just look at the rest of the league, and you're going to have to like keep at. Plus, you have that target on your back as well. Like, you might not have won the playoffs, but you still won the regular season title. That is still going to be a target on your back that other teams are going to want to go after. Like, you're going to look at NoCo, and if they can keep most of their core, they're going to be like, we could have won. We were in position to win that Shield, and we had a slip up. You're going to look at Madison and say, okay, we need to up our game. We've also been spending. We need to make sure that happens. You're going to look at, Tormento will just spawn a bunch of people out of nowhere from their academy, and they'll give you inconsistent results, whatever. But you get Lexington and Knoxville. They've now had a season under their belt. They have the idea of what's going on there. If they somehow keep the youth, that puts them in contention. Richmond can only go up from where they were. Same with Fuego and Chattanooga. It's like they can't get any worse. So they'll improve. And that's not including the unknowns of what the expansion teams will do. And even like a Charlotte. Like, Charlotte continuously keeps showing, like, despite not thinking defense is needed, if you have a goalie good enough, they're just gonna be like, all right, if we have a goalie, we'll figure it out.
They're just gonna keep going. Like, it's fine. It's whatever.
And then there's Greenville, which we don't know what the hell's gonna happen with them. Like, maybe this is gonna be the same thing that happened with Omaha. They lose their great coach, they bring in someone new, they take a while, but then they get firing. I don't know. Like, it is going to be a lot more competitive, but I still would think Omaha would bring most of his core back if they can.
Yeah, I think the most important thing they did was bring in Steven Dos Santos to take the pressure off of Noe Meza and have a dual goal-scoring tandem there. That, all the successful teams in the league this year had something like that.
Yeah.
And Steven Dos Santos just happened to work out
until his pad.
Yeah, that
until his penalty.
Yeah, until that, but.
That hurts the most, though.
Yeah.
And then we go into the second game where NCFC takes down NoCo 3-1. It was like a fever dream, so I can't even tell you what happened in that stadium.
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened in the first half because I was watching the Omaha match, the Omaha Charlotte match, so I didn't see much of the first half. All I knew is NCFC scored, and I saw the goal and was like, was that planned? That looked like a fluke.
It looked like a fluke, but he also stuck his foot out. Like,
right.
So I don't think he knew it was going to head into the back of the net, but he knew that any touch on it was going to make something happen.
Yeah.
So
But-
yeah, Louis Perez, sorry, Garcia, with the brace, which is wild. But we have confirmed that he is him, and we didn't even need Olex to score. But he can if he wants to. Olex, you should score like 4 more times just to prove to everybody that you can in the playoffs. Okay,
or that Rafa playoff magic.
Yeah,
Hey, he had a couple assists.
that hair is blonde. It's blonde. Playoff Rafa is in effect. I just need him to like score.
Ugh, still have nightmares.
Score. But the game. So yeah, the first half was interesting. I remember seeing the goal from Garcia, and then I was actually, the second goal happened so quick because I was in the beer line, and that happened at the 49th minute.
Yeah, it was like shortly after.
It was right after we turned it on.
Yeah. But
So
the thing was like right before that, and this is one of those like, oh man, what could have been, because Marky Hernandez had a chance at the top of the box. She takes the shot, it goes wide. And then 2 minutes later, the pass Rafa puts in the pass to Garrett McLaughlin, who takes it. I think it was either the defender or he had a touch. It went too wide. Delgado was preventing a near post shot. So then McLaughlin tried squaring it, and Noko was able to deal with him. And I was kind of thinking, ooh, that might come back to haunt them. Like that's kind of one of those things where maybe that comes back to haunt North Carolina, and then they score literally like the next corner. I was like, okay, never mind.
I saw the corner. Well, I rewatched and I saw the corner. Like, there was like no marking on that corner.
No.
He just rose up, and then the keeper didn't even move. And I'm like, am I watching like something crazy happen right here, right now? Because that was 2-0, and then we got the late one for 3. And the energy that the guys were just like playing with, it's like they knew. I feel like they went into the locker room and someone told them Charlotte won, and they're like, "And you have the chance to do something here." Yeah, and I feel like that's what literally made them come out and score within like 4 minutes of halftime.
They're playing for those promotions.
It's wild.
Bradford's like, I'm going to championship. I don't know about y'all. Like, I'm going.
He said my contract is extended, and so
I'll be there. I don't know. Like, if y'all want to be there, you should probably play. Like, step it up. I'll be there.
Oh my gosh. So yeah.
But no, it was one of those where it did feel like had Noko scored, if Hernandez scored, it would have been a completely different game, and then it doesn't. And then, I mean, Louis Perez was just taking 30-yard attempts the whole game, and that would finally win it. So it's kind of like, all right.
He's feeling himself, man. He went on a little run
spot
at the end of the season. Yeah. Now he's like, shoot, man. That's all I wanted out of my team, and I got it this season. And I was so happy. I was like, thank you, John. Because I literally said, if I don't have 3 players in the Golden Boot race, then I got a problem. And look what I got.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. So yeah, I have plans on Sunday.
Hey, we also have plans. We're doing a watch along. Yogi and I are going to do a watch along for the final. More details to come, but there will be a watch along.
Now we're hosting Charlotte for the final. Not gonna lie, I've been a nervous wreck all week. It's been nerve-wracking.
I mean, the top four teams. I keep saying this. I think they're all built for the playoffs. All 4 of them. Charlotte, they've got veteran experience. They've got that resiliency to grind out a crazy win over with Omaha, with riding a hot shot goalie. Like all 4 teams were built for this. And I picked NCFC from the very beginning, so I'm still going with them. But yeah, I would be nervous too.
Oh yeah, no, I would be nervous because like you don't want to lose a final just in general. You don't want to do that. You don't want to lose it to your biggest rival in your last USL League One game either.
And you don't want to lose to your biggest
And
rival at home. Yeah, that's been my thing. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think the vibes around with the fans is nerves but excitement, because we can do the really cool thing of earning promotion with winning a title, taking a trophy with me and popping champagne. Charlotte fans they're not having fun online. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice for the podcast, so
for the podcast, I'm gonna say if North Carolina wins.
Oh no!
Man.
So I will not be thinking of the podcast if North Carolina.
You might tweet from the podcast account. There might be some tweets fired off.
I will be nice. But yeah, I'm going to be on my worst behavior. I just want everybody to know that. So, OCS, if you're listening, I'm sorry, not sorry, but I will be on my worst behavior. May get into 2 fights. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Gonna have security on speed dial. The league's gonna have security on speed dial. If they haven't already, they need to do that now.
Yeah, I've already been warned that we are on opposite ends of the stadium.
That is smart.
Yeah. So we'll see. It'll be fun. It's gonna be a fun day.
I mean, Charlotte can't go with the same strategy against Omar. Like, they can't just rely on Austin Pack to save their ass the whole game, right? Like, Charlotte's gonna have to do something different.
So, yeah, they know they have to. They're gonna I think our midfields match up really well. It's just gonna be a matter of who's taking more shots, and both teams take a lot of shots. Anderson, does really well with the ball at his feet. Give him some space, and he's just going to turn and shoot anytime he wants to. But this season alone, our matchups was a 1-1 draw, 2-1 Charlotte, and then 2-0 NCFC. So we know that Thompson can't keep a clean sheet, as is shown from the 3-1. He probably should have, but it's whatever.
At that point, who cared?
Yeah, at that point, I was still crying, hugging someone, jumping in arms. I don't know. I don't even remember the last 10 minutes. After that third goal, I don't remember anything that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it didn't matter, but it kind of matters in the sense of you've got to be able to keep your composure and don't let the little moments kill you, because those little moments are what Charlotte lives for. So
yeah, if I mean, some of the midfield in Charlotte is not as fast as they used to be, but if they get if they can get their feet in the right place, they're deadly. Oberton and Ibarra especially.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how North Carolina's defense will go about it, because I think we all know the midfield is going to be a close battle, probably slight edge to North Carolina, and the attack also a good battle, but still a edge to North Carolina. But then Charlotte's got the goalie, and the defense is kind of in the playoffs, Charlotte has shown a lot more defensive resolve than we expected, and we kind of saw that at the beginning of the season as well with Charlotte. It was kind of who is this new Charlotte that is capable of defending and doing a low block and not allowing clear-cut chances? Who is this team?
But then that kind of stopped.
And then that stopped, and again, and how much of that was they also weren't creating a lot of chances, so they decided to take more risk. How much of that? And you obviously also lose Dimmick, which is a huge deal. So And I think the bigger question for me is, can Charlotte's defense make sure that they don't have to have Austin Pack stand on its head again? Because even though they got by the previous week against Omaha, that will not work. That will not work again. Especially with someone more clinical in Anderson, and that's not including a Louis Perez and Rafa and McLaughlin and Maldonado. And like, there's so many players that, like, North Carolina has more players capable of scoring than Omaha did.
Yeah. It's going to be very tense, very chippy match all 90 minutes. I don't see this game going past 90 minutes. I think there's a winner in 90 minutes. And because it is my team, I'm going to hold my bias back. I'm going to be honest. I will always choose me over Charlotte every day of the week, and twice.
Well, yeah, you got to choose you. You're in a final. You were choosing you.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. I've been in a lot of finals in my life. I've seen a lot of finals, and this one means a lot to me. Just because I've seen them lose quite a bit, and I haven't seen the highs in a while. But this one's going to be a high for a while, a long time, win or lose. So, I'm going to hold my bias in. But if we win, just know I'm hopping on the live stream and I'm just yelling "fuck Charlotte" for 6 straight minutes while I shake champagne on the middle of the field because I've rushed the field. Okay.
I'm gonna say we'll text you. We'll just text you the link to jump on, and we'll have to promptly kick you out. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I will figure it out. In all of the drunken haziness. If we win. Am I already emotional? Absolutely. I've been watching this team suck for so many years. One playoff game and we lost it at home.
Back to back wooden spoons. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my take on this weekend. I hope that it is a vibe, but it's definitely going to be chaos.
Yeah, it's going to be chaos for sure.
Yeah.
I can't do any more chaos in CFC games. It's not. My heart can't take it. No.
That's what you're getting. So too bad. You're getting a chaotic final.
I can't do it. I don't know. Anyway, what are we feeling for this game? What are your thoughts?
I'll say 2-0 North Carolina. I still just feel like, yes, Charlotte can try and hold off, and there is still enough of a midfield and attack that they could score a goal. I'm just thinking with how Omaha thoroughly outplayed them, and that was, again, a miracle that they advanced. I'm thinking a more clinical team with better attacking options will take advantage of that.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 North Carolina. I think they'll figure out a way to get past Austin Pack on this one. But I'm not saying this with 100% confidence either, because, we've seen Charlotte. They have the ability to spread out their goals. They aren't relying just on Corey Bennett and Tracer and Mbouyou now. They've got, they can have, I think Kelly's going to be out. Is he still hurt? You guys know?
Yeah.
I think so.
Because he didn't play
last game. No,
he did not. But they still have Joel Johnson, and Mbouyou and Bennett, Overton. I think this guy Ryan DJ. I probably butchered that one, but he scored a few of the late season too, coming on too. So I mean, they can do it. I still think it's going to be NCFC though. I think they're just the stronger side in a playoff.
I do want to say club sponsored beat NCFC shirts on employees is fucking hilarious, by the way. Get some fans. Get some fucking fans. That's all I got.
You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
I
can't be hating when I'm not in a final. Like, I would probably be like, you know what? if Madison like had that and said beat whoever, I'd be like, yeah, roll on, let's go. I can't hate a team wanting to be like trying to get a hype for a final, even if it is with their own employees. They're in a final.
I couldn't. I would literally die. And I'm just over here like, I've got like 8 more tifos I gotta go trace here in my own room. As
well, the employees also got to make the tifos, okay? Like they still got to do that as well.
Yeah, the sponsored, SG, they already got this printed and laminated and ready to go. So it's whatever,
I just wonder if the tinfoil hat account has already. How many tweets are they going to try and fire off if things don't go their way? I'm want to see what conspiracy theory angle is going to happen
in the drafts. They're already in the drafts. I can't wait.
Investigate NCFC.
They're going to say something about the pitch. They're going to say something about they're going to say something, and I'm going to be like, they're going to be like, oh, the weather wasn't good. It's like you're in the same state. Like, what do you mean?
You know what? The ACC final is right before the NCFC final. Yeah, the ACC final is at noon, and then NCFC is at 5.
There's your conspiracy. The pitch, the field was bumpy.
I guess.
There's the angle. The field is bumpy.
Florida State's going to win a national championship, and then they're going to flip the field. Did Florida State win tonight? I think they did. Maybe. I have no idea. But yeah. Imagine if all 3 teams had to play on Sunday. Just imagine.
I do appreciate this final being moved back in time.
Yes.
8:30 on a Sunday. I'm like, bro, I have work in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that late on a Sunday. Like, oh look, I'll watch. But man, like, you're really pushing me here.
I'd be looking around like, yo, I got meetings at 8 a.m. Like, I can't. There's no way.
I could be down there. I could get down there. I could be home by 10:30, 11 o'clock at this time.
Oh, that's not
there
bad.
We go. Not bad at all. 8:30 at 8:30 kick. You weren't making it home till Monday. Monday at 4. Yeah.
I was not going to drive up 85 at that time of night.
It's the worst thing in the world. Hell no. Look at this. We're under an hour, y'all. I'm proud of us. And then Yogi still did not interrupt the podcast.
I forgot that he's in Pittsburgh for the Titans-Steelers game, which is why he has not hijacked it. I put 2 and 2 together. When he said he was in Pittsburgh, I was like, what the fuck are you doing in Pittsburgh? Like, why would you do that? I was
thinking the same thing. I'm like, what is in Pittsburgh for you, sir?
Right. I was like, the fuck are you doing? I was like, oh. I was like, Charlotte's not in the playoffs still, I don't think. Charlotte FC doesn't have a game.
They are not in.
What grad school nonsense are you doing? I was like, oh
no, wait. they came and left. That was their postseason run.
Yogi did not hijack it because he is in the football stadium watching the Titans. I don't even know if the Titans
are the Titans even playing well right now.
How are we defining well? Because they won last week.
You answered my question. I appreciate you.
They won last week.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are doing a live show. Who you got hopping on? Alex, you hopping on their live stream for the watch along?
I don't know.
If you're not in Raleigh, I should say.
Yeah, if I'm not in Raleigh, maybe. I don't know.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Yogi finalized that we were doing it as I texted him this afternoon. We will put more details out tomorrow.
Okay.
Right now, it probably will just be Yogi, myself. Maybe Chip will jump on. I'm sure. Alex, if you're not going, you're free. Look, people are free to jump on. I just don't have any idea. I don't know. You'll find out when you find out, okay?
That is on brand for Walking ID. It is Thursday, and they're finalizing details Friday for a Sunday watch along.
Well, I'll put it this way: if I'm at home, I'm going to be watching the match on the television with my wife, and she hates Charlotte with a passion. Like she
See,
hates.
I knew
Charlotte.
I liked your wife. I knew I liked your wife. It's death, taxes, and fuck Charlotte. That's pretty much what I got for you.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
I
no, we'll have
appreciate
to
you
watch
She'll be
along.
wanting to watch. She'll be wanting to watch the match and watch NCFC and cheer for NCFC.
Perfect. Excellent. I will send her all the buttons I have made for this weekend.
She's a
there's
Richmond
lot.
fan, but yeah, hates Charlotte.
That's fair. That's fair. Like I appreciate any support I can get. If it's a I want Charlotte to lose, so go NCFC, I'm good with that. I take all types of support. So
I try to take the neutral route there.
I just need chaos. I just want a chaotic
Yeah,
final.
chaos. I want chaos.
Why are y'all
If
doing
Richmond
that
and
to me?
Madison aren't in it, like let's
Why are we asking for chaos? I'm a friend. I want to.
Look,
I want to go in, do my job, and go home.
Charlotte they're the agents of chaos, it seems.
Here's the
Ooh.
thing, though. I don't know how dedicated Yogi was to his. I don't even remember what North Carolina's stipulation for Yogi's chaos scenario was.
We were supposed to lose to Noko,
Okay.
and he hasn't been
so-
back on the show to update his chaos terror.
Well, because it's original along with Madison getting knocked out of the playoffs by
Yeah.
Omaha never happened, so he just decided not to show up.
Right. Like we've done 3 shows, and Yogi has not been at one of
He
them.
did get his
after
Omaha. I
his
think he got his Omaha one though, where they would get knocked out like immediately. So he did get
Yeah.
Omaha.
I was supposed to be knocked out versus Noko, so I don't know. He's got to come.
Playoffs.
Yeah. So, he's got to come back and update us on all of that. We'll see. Not my thing. Not my thing.
I'm not gonna remind him.
Nah, I'm good. Alex, can you tell people where to find you besides League One Updater? You got a
League One
website or anything
Updater
like
on Twitter. My Twitter handle is right there on the screen. Website is League One Updater with the actual ONE .com. Yeah, that's about it. I guess I'm on Instagram too under the League One Updater handle, but I don't really maintain that as much as I should.
Not gonna lie, I don't do a lot of Instagram either, so
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah,
Kyle,
yeah.
I don't know. We normally end on something crazy from Yogi, so it's your turn.
Look, all I'm saying is Keith Lee was right about Atlanta.
Perfect, because you know what he was. The food is mid, and you know what? Y'all have a good night.
Keith Lee didn't tell a lie. That's the
He
name.
didn't lie. He didn't lie. Later.